Hello again everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Test Flight in the UH-1 Huey. And this time I continue to get familiar with the aircraft and basic handling. I'm going to figure out a little bit more about getting into a hover. I'm going to do some turns, and I'm also going to do some basic sideward, forward, and rearward flight. So getting into this video, I'm going to be reading a lot from the manual, but I read very fast because there's a lot to cover. So if you want to follow along in that much detail, I'd recommend pausing the video and reading along with me as we go. So, without pause, let me go ahead and get into the air, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, let's see here. Hovering turns. At altitude, constant 3 feet. Remain over the pivot point, and constant rate of turn, max of 360 in 15 seconds. Okay. Prior to initiating the turn, look towards the side that you want to turn to make sure it's free of obstacles and to avoid a possible collision. Always good advice. Slightly depress the corresponding pedal. Once the desired rate is attained, lessen pedal input. A well-executed turn should be performed around or near the main rotor vertical axis. So that's saying that I should be turning around the rotor vertical axis, which is back here. So I want to... So me up here in the front cockpit, I'll be kind of sweeping around. I don't want to necessarily have this point right below me be the pivot point. I want the pivot point way back here. Okay, that's probably one of those things that's easier said than done. Let me see what else we have here. Okay, oh, it's going to tell me how. Maintaining the center point of turn, attitude, and yaw rate can be difficult. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Required to be prepared to perform the following control inputs to compensate. Due to the imbalanced nature of forces of movement during a hovering turn, the helicopter will not turn exactly over the main rotor vertical axis, but within a small radius of turn, requiring cyclic input in addition to pedal input to control the turn. Okay. When initiating a left turn, add the left pedal, which increases the tail rotor thrust, but that does produce a slight bank to the right, so I'm going to have to correct by going left on my cyclic. Okay, so the left turn is going to create a right bank, so I need left cyclic to compensate. Transfer of power produces a reduction in main rotor RPM in the initial moments of left pedal. Well, that's interesting. It may take the engine governor up to 2 to 4 seconds to compensate and return the main rotor RPM. Wow. At which point the helicopter may experience a slight climb rate. The climbing tendency occurs due to increased velocity of the main rotor blades. Yeah, it's very interesting. When initiating a right hovering turn, add right pedal, decreases tail rotor thrust, and produces a slight bank to the left. Okay, so right hand. Okay, so pedal and stick into the direction of the turn is what I'm getting from this. And this produces an increase in main rotor RPM in the initial moments instead of a decrease. So I'm going to climb slightly, and then it's going to settle back down, and that will, okay, right hand is going to induce a sink rate. Okay, when performing hovering turns, continually use measured cyclic control. Okay, got it. Same thing about small, smooth control inputs. Okay, it's got stuff about max takeoff weight and high altitude that I'm not worried about. Okay, let me give this one a shot. So I'm going to establish a rudder and do some turns. Okay, let me see where I'm at here. Okay, left pedal, left and back on the stick, smooth raise of the collective. Okay, there comes the nose. Okay, correcting. Okay, very cool. Ease up on the pedals. Boy, and that tendency for it to go back is very pronounced. Okay, so that's not bad. Let me take it up just slightly, and then I'll get into a turn to the left. Okay, so clearing my turn, got nothing in the way. Okay, left pedal associated with left stick. Okay. Not bad. Okay, turn to the right pedal associated with right stick. Okay, that's a little bit that is definitely different than the left-hand turn when it comes to the dynamic forces acting on the aircraft. Let me try that again one more time to the left. That just seemed a lot less controllable than the left-hand turn. The left-hand turn was a piece of cake. Okay, left-hand turn. Get out of this F-18's way. And stabilize. Right-hand turn. Okay, well that's not, it's actually not bad at all. Okay, ooh, slowly reduce collective. Let me get myself straightened back out here. Okay, slowly reduce, back down. Okay, that was a little touchy coming down. Sideward flight, although I think I've mastered sideward flight by mistake already. So let's see what the right way to do this is. Required altitude, constant 3-foot hover, 90-degree clearing turn in the direction of sideward flight. Constant rate of movement not to exceed 5 knots. Flight path perpendicular to heading. Recommendations: initiate sideward flight by heading cyclic in the desired direction. Maintain heading using pedals. Altitude using collective, and monitor airspeed by watching the ground. Maintaining heading and altitude can be difficult, requiring the pilot to perform the following control inputs to compensate. Okay, I'm going to tend to weather vane into the direction of flight, requiring pedal input in the opposite direction. Okay, the tilt of the main rudder is going to reduce vertical lift, so I'm going to have to increase collective if I want to maintain altitude. And to stop, set the cyclic to the opposite side, approximately 40 feet ahead of the desired stopping point. That actually seems pretty straightforward. The only twist, I guess, is the part about reduction of lift and having to keep an eye on my altitude as I do this. And there's the same warning about not being too aggressive on the cyclic. Okay, let's give this a shot. Okay, so assume the position for takeoff. Okay, left pedal back and left on the stick. Cyclic, or I'm sorry, collective up. Slowly. Okay, there it goes, finally. Okay, a little bit more altitude, please. Okay, 3 feet, 4 feet. Surely good enough. Okay, sideward flight. Here we go. Let me come out here to the taxiway so I don't run into anything. Okay, let me start this to the right. Okay, so it was going to weather vane into the direction that I'm flying. I'm also going to loosen altitude as I do this. Okay, so cyclic to the right. Okay, a little bit of, yeah, exactly like I said, a little bit of left pedal, a lot of left pedal, in fact, is required to maintain it. And 4 feet. Yeah, okay, let me stop this because I am starting to lose control. Okay, pedal back. And let me get situated again and steady out in the hover. That wasn't that bad. Let me not be so aggressive on the speed until I really get this figured out, but okay, in a hover, 4 feet. Let me try this to the left. Try not to run into an F-18. Okay, so stick left and pedal right to compensate. Boy, this is... Okay, this is challenging. I think what I'm finding right here is to maintain the hover, I've already got a lot of left pedal input, so it's kind of, it's like I don't really have a baseline where neutral pedal is. I think I'm kind of fighting that, figuring out exactly what my pedal is doing, because to me right now it feels like I've got a lot of left pedal in, and that's simply the position that it needs to be to have me centered out. So I could trim it, but I don't want to put in trim until I really figure out the adverse effects of it. So we just reestablish in a hover. And boy, once you lose it, it's, well, not hard to get back, but you really gotta, it's easy to overcorrect, so you really gotta be smooth. Okay, so let me try to reestablish right here. Okay, let me just remember the fundamentals here. Okay, smooth control inputs. Okay, pick a spot out in front of the aircraft. I'm just focusing on a little clump of grass right now. And I'll tell you, that's the trick, is focus on something out in front of the aircraft. I mean, it's hard to describe, but that really does help. Okay, let me reduce collective and sit her down right here. Okay, boy, deep breath after that. Okay, rearward flight, which I have already done by mistake, but let me see what I need to do here. Altitude, constant 3-foot hover, 90-degree clearing turn in the direction of sideward flight. That doesn't sound right, but okay. Constant rate of movement and flight path 180 degree to heading, or 180 degrees to heading. Recommendations to initiate, increase collective, and simultaneously pull back on the cyclic. Okay, use the pedals to maintain heading and collective to maintain altitude. Monitor speed by looking at the ground. Okay, maintaining heading and altitude can be difficult, and let's see what I have to do. The helicopter will weather vane into the direction of flight, resulting in continual waving of the tail 10 to 15 degrees, requiring measured and more frequent than normal pedal input. Okay, so if I thought I was out of control a little bit before, I'm really going to be struggling here. Okay, so let's just prevent the yaw and damp out as much of that yaw as I can. Okay, the tilt of the main rotor relative to the ground will reduce the vertical lift again, resulting in a loss of altitude and an increase in collective. As speed reaches 8 to 10 knots, the nose will begin to rise, which doesn't sound like a good thing to happen as you're going backwards, as a result of increased airflow over the synchronized elevator. Compensate with slight adjustment of the cyclic forward. To stop the helicopter, set the cyclic control to the opposite side, approximately 6 to 8 feet ahead of the desired stopping point, and enter a hover. And again, measured cyclic control to get this right. Okay. Okay, let's try rearward flight. So I'm going to turn 180 here, and then go backwards out over this field. Okay, so rudder, pedals left, stick back and left, collective up. Very smooth on the collective, very smooth on everything. Okay, here she comes. Okay, yeah. Again, it's taking that point out in front of me. I didn't do that initially. I'm getting a little bit better now. And I think I am still kind of mistaking roll for yaw, and still trying to get a hang of the visual cues and what corrections I need to make. Okay, I've got it figured out now, so let me go ahead and yaw left. So that was pedal and stick simultaneously. I'll continue it all the way around 180. Okay, not exactly. I don't know. That might have looked a lot better externally than it felt in the cockpit. Okay, let me get a little bit more altitude, so I know I'm going to lose some in rearward flight. Okay, 3 feet, 4 feet, good enough. Okay, now this was back, and I'm going to. It's actually not too bad at all. I just gotta watch out for that nose down that I'm expecting, which was right there. I think I got going a little bit too fast in the rearward flight to begin with. But no, that's not bad at all. Not as bad as I was expecting. It's about as easy as sideward. So let me yaw it back around. Yeah, I think you know, just even after, I don't even know how long I've been doing this, maybe 10, well, 15, 20 minutes. But yeah, even now, yeah, this is, it felt impossible, to be honest. Yeah, 10 minutes ago I thought this was going to be an impossible task, but I'm really getting the feel for it. So let me, before I get too anxious and too ahead of myself, let me just put her back into a hover. Okay, picking my point out in front to focus on, using that to keep myself stable. Okay, got it, and let me go ahead and set her down right here. And yeah, I can really, it's really prominent when I go down or lower the collective to put myself down. I really have to compensate with right pedal because of the torque on the rotor. And I've got to watch, my pitch angle on touchdown. I've been touching down a little bit nose high, so I've got to watch that and make sure that I'm a little bit more level when I touch down. And that's going to do it for this edition of Test Flight. And it may not show, but I really am getting a better feel for the aircraft. And I think we'll be able to quickly move on from here to a more advanced flight, and then finally get into some systems and weapons deployment. So thanks again for watching. I will see you next time.